What is going on, F and True followers and wrestling fans? You're watching the F and Brand of Wrestling and Entertainment here on YouTube.com. My name is JC Styles, and I am back with a current state of the WWE video. This is going to be like a discussion slash rant. I'm going to let you guys know my frustrations with the company right now. I'm also going to let you guys know what I think that should be changed, who should be pushed, who shouldn't be pushed, what they should do with the tag team division, what wrestlers I think that they need to be released. So right off the bat, I'm going to let you guys know who I think needs to be released. They need to get rid of the three-man band. It was kind of cool when they put them together, but if you have nothing for these guys legitimately to do as a team, there's no reason why you should have them on your roster. There should be no reason why you have them on Raw taking up space. You know, I know there's people out there that really like Heath Slater and like Drew McIntyre, and I'm one of them. I like Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre had so much promise when he broke into the WWE, when he was feuding with Matt Hardy, and he had the feud for the Intercontinental Championship. You know, he was, on fire. He was a force to be reckoned with. He was pretty good, too. And you fast forward a couple of years later, look where he's at now, just being really thrown around in the mix. And that's what WWE has. WWE isn't like what it used to be back in the day when you had so much going on that you can have these wrestlers wrestling. Now it's more of an entertainment base. They care more about the in-ring promos than they do the actual wrestling sometimes. And granted, you'll get a really good 5-star match. Like I heard Kane and Ambrose from Friday night was really damn good. Randy Orton had a match on SmackDown, which was pretty good, I heard. They're starting to drop the ball on main event, from what I've heard. So there's things that could be done to change this product around. And it seems like week in and week out, we're getting the same old shit. Now you used to get, you had the thing with Randy Orton in the Shield. Now you have the thing with Randy Orton in Big Show. It's getting really boring really quick. And like I said, it's not like how wrestling was, where you had so many wrestlers and they literally filled the card with as many matches they possibly could, and the shows would come off. I mean, you have a 3-hour show, and if you take all the highlight packages, recaps, and promos that they do. Also, I can understand they want to do the Create-A-Wish Foundation and the Be a Star pep rally and stuff like that. I can understand that they want to do that to help, get the kids interested in the product. I can understand that. But there's no reason why we need to keep hearing about it 4 times in 1 hour. I feel, when I see that and I see the kids that are sick and their one wish is to meet one of their favorite WWE superstars, it gets to me. I'm not gonna lie. I get, it hits hard for me because I got a niece and a nephew. I got cousins and, little cousins running around, and it would suck if something like that happened. And it breaks my heart to see other kids going through that. And, it's just really sad. But the thing is, it's a wrestling show. There's time to push that. There's time not to show that. You know what I mean? And I think that WWE has really lost touch with the wrestling fans because, let's just get it right out in the open. They're too busy focusing on the kids that they're losing their hardcore audience. They're losing the adults that have given everything to that company to keep watching that company. I've been watching the WWE since 1990. I've been watching wrestling since 1990. I saw guys like I saw Shawn Michaels rise to solo career. I saw the downfall of Marty Jannetty, the return of Marty Jannetty. I lived through the Diesel era, the Bret Hart era, the Stone Cold era. All these great talent, and now it's like they're fighting so hard to try to get back to where they were, and the fans that think that WWE is ever going to be back to where it was 10 years ago, you might as well start looking for other sources of wrestling because you're not going to get how wrestling was in 2010. Now, as much as I love the Attitude Era and I want to see it, we all know it's never going to return. I've gone back with Brian, my broadcast partner, and we've watched past Monday Night Raws, and old school Monday Night Raws, and even in the Attitude Era, the first hour was PG, and was PG 13, but it was proof that good edgy storylines could exist in a PG era. It's like Vince McMahon, the guy who claims to have the biggest grapefruits in the world, has gone soft. Now they're little tiny prunes or seeds or pits. You know what I mean? Like, what happened to your grapefruits, Vince? It's like he it feels like Vince is afraid to take chances anymore. You know, which brings me to some wrestlers that need to be released ASAP. As much as I love Santino and his gimmick, and that he's always good for a laugh, he needs to be let go. I mean, he could be a very serious competitor, but WWE will never turn him to a serious competitor. They took a chance. They gave him a chance. I think it was in 2011, the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, and he did phenomenally. But that was it. That was the last time we ever saw something really great out of Santino, that they actually did something with him. The Great Khali, the guy had so much fire and pizzazz in 2007 when he broke into the WWE, and he had fused with Batista and The Undertaker over the World Heavyweight title. Now he's paired with Hornswoggle and Natalia. He needs to go, and they need to let him go and let him be. Hornswoggle, as much as he markets to little kids, he needs to go, taking space up on the roster. Sorry, buddy. I liked you when you were with Finley, but not anymore. Uh, which brings me to Natalia. Natalia, a great diva, and she should be fighting for the Divas Championship in the Divas division, and she's not. I heard that there's rumors going around that WWE is going to be bringing NXT to air on TV in the States, and me and Brian were actually talking about this earlier. And what they should do is start airing some of the NXT matches on Raw, like what they used to do when ECW used to come over, and they would give them like 2 matches a night and let them showcase their product on TV. That's what they should do with NXT. Give 2 NXT matches, male wrestlers match and a divas match, and let them shine so the fans can start getting used to seeing these talent. And then that way, when NXT goes live on TV or taped live TV, they're familiar with the characters, and especially when you're going to start calling these characters up, you're going to have, especially like Ambrose, Rollins, and Reigns. They were all solo competitors, but then when they came to Raw, they formed as the Shield. Now they went back to NXT as the Shield, and they're wreaking havoc over there on Raw, SmackDown, and on NXT. So, really interesting stuff there. There's so many things that they need to do with the WWE, and WWE needs to do. Right now, I'm going to talk about some of the stars that really need to be pushed. The top 10 stars, I think, that should really be pushed. Some of these guys really had their chance, and WWE dropped the ball. So it's something. Some of these guys I really want to see. Guys like Ted DiBiase, second or third generation superstar, and really has the charisma and the in-ring ability and the following to do something great. Great wrestler. I actually enjoyed him. I actually got to see him wrestle on numerous occasions live at house shows, and the guy can go. He had the DiBiase posse. Then he got hurt, and while he was out, he decided to go and have more surgery and correct everything else that was going on. And I'm assuming that he's fully healed, but we haven't seen him. I heard that he worked a dark match not too long ago, or a Superstars or an NXT taping. I'm not sure. He definitely needs to be brought back to the roster and done something with, because this guy has what it takes to actually do pretty good. He was actually pretty good with Cody Rhodes too. I would like to actually see them maybe form Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase back up for a tag team, or maybe see what they can do with Ted DiBiase as a solo competitor. You know what I mean? He has what it takes. He has the drive. He has the following. And I know there's a lot of people out there that really like them. I'm one of them, and I wish that they would do something with him. Maybe repackage him. Maybe have him come out like how his father used to come out. Start buying people off, form a faction or something. You know what I mean? Something that can get him on TV and actually get him to stand out. Uh, Another one that was really, really thrown under the bus, Michael McGillicuddy, a.k.a. Joe Henning. Joe Henning had fire matches with Tyson Kidd on NXT and on Superstars, and again, dropped the ball with it, and they never capitalized on him. Yeah, he was part of the new Nexus and the Nexus and stuff like that, but the guy has what it takes, and I believe McGillicuddy is his mother's name. I think he wanted to make it on his own, but maybe have him walk that thin line between his father's character and being himself. Drop the McGillicuddy, go as Joe Henning. Maybe cut a promo talking about how I'm Kurt Henning's son, Joe Henning. I want to make my name my own stake in professional wrestling under my own, and really separate himself from his father's shadow, but in a way doing so that, you know, when we think of McGillicuddy, when we think of Henning, we don't think of his father. We think of Joe Henning, another third generation superstar, and they really threw him under the bus and have nothing for him to do. And he has what it takes to be a top contender, and, they dropped the ball. Again, CM Punk said it best when he was feuding with John Cena in 2011, that Vince McMahon no longer knows what makes a professional wrestler. He has all these guys um, professional movie storyline writers, and they're coming up with shit. He keeps hiring new storyline writers, and they're coming up with shit, and you get what you get on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. And I'm sorry, I love the WWE, and I like to see what they can do, but again, it is what it is. They need to start doing something to turn around. So Michael McGillicuddy being another one. Tyson Kidd, I know he's out with an injury, but man, Tyson Kidd was on fire too, especially with a tag team with Justin Gabriel. Maybe like to see them reform as a tag team when they come back up. I know Justin Gabriel's been working the NXT scene recently, and right now I would like to see these two guys form back up when Tyson Kidd comes back, or maybe start pushing Tyson Kidd as a solo competitor, have him feud for the Intercontinental Championship or the United States Championship, or maybe bring back a light heavyweight championship, give some of the younger lightweight guys something to strive for, something different that we haven't seen, because WWE does have a lot of high flyers. Gabriel, Kidd, Evan Bourne, you got Kofi, you got Bo Dallas, you got Adrian Neville down in NXT, and numerous other guys. They need to start doing something. Fandango, as much as I can't stand the character, I'm starting to get behind him a little bit, though. I really hope WWE starts pushing him more in the ring than just attacking people and laying people out. I would like to actually see him wrestle more often rather than less and just attack people. I'd rather have him wrestle. I would really like to see what he could do. WrestleMania was a really good stepping stone for him, and they really need to capitalize on that momentum. And you got the crowd doing the fandangoing, the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. They got them doing that, and it's really great to see that, and they really need to start capitalizing on that, because if they don't, he's just going to be one of those stars, flash in the pan. They didn't strike soon enough when the iron's hot. Cody Rhodes, another third-generation superstar. They have so much talent with him, and they're not utilizing him right. They got him paired with, I don't know how many times you're going to put him with Sandow, break him up, put him back together. They really need to start doing something with him, maybe start pushing him towards the main event, or like I said earlier, putting him back with Ted DiBiase, start putting him back with second and third generation superstars. Justin Gabriel. What can I say about Justin Gabriel that hasn't been said? He is a South African sensation. He has the friggin' look. He's got the in-ring ability. And again, he's not being utilized. He definitely needs to be utilized more, whether as a tag team or solo. Like I said, maybe bring a light heavyweight championship back or a cruiserweight title back. Give these guys something to strive for other than just the United States and the Intercontinental Championship. Let's keep moving on. The Miz. As much as I love The Miz, he needs to be in the main event and not feuding for the Intercontinental Championship. Enough said. I can understand that they want to try to bring legitimacy back to the Intercontinental title, but they need him back in the main event. They got too many main eventers feuding for the Intercontinental Championship. The Intercontinental Championship wasn't like it was back in the day, where you had guys like The Rock and Triple H and Stone Cold, Owen Hart, the British Bulldog, and guys feuding over this title. They need to start focusing, have a main event, have a mid card, and so on and so forth. Uh, Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler can win matches on his own. They need to start having him win matches on his own without the help of AJ, without the help of Big E Langston. They really have something here with Dolph Ziggler. The pop when he cashed in his Money in the Bank and won the world title was extravagant, was really unexpected, and he has the ability. He's a great showman. I know a lot of people have said over the past that he is too much of a showman. He oversells moves. But, there was a lot of wrestlers back in the day that really oversell moves and really, really accomplished a lot. Guys like Shawn Michaels, The Rock, Billy Gunn, Ric Flair. These guys made a career over overselling certain moves, and it just works. They need to start doing something with Ziggler more rather than just having him interfere, having him win with outside help. He's World Heavyweight Champion. I still think that they should have put him with Ric Flair and not Flair with The Miz. I think that Flair could have, helped Ziggler sculpt him to be a World Heavyweight Champion. Having him with AJ and Big E isn't really a right fit for him. And they need to do something with that quick, too. Wade Barrett. Really not liking the character anymore. I like the fact is that they tried to go with something different with the bare knuckle fighter gimmick. It was pretty cool for the first couple of months. Now it's just really stale. They need to get him back to where he was before he got hurt and get him into the main event quick too. The main event scene is really hurting right now. CM Punk is gone, but he might be coming back at the end of the month. Undertaker is going to be gone after Extreme Rules. There's a lot of rumors going around that he's going to be competing at Extreme Rules. So I really hope that they do something with him as well, with Wade Barrett as well, because, I like Barrett, but the gimmick just isn't there for him right now, and they need to do something with him. Last but not least, pushing-wise, Big E Langston. Big E Langston is doing phenomenal things down in NXT as the NXT World Heavyweight Champion. They need to start pushing him on his own without Dolph Ziggler and without AJ. He needs to go out there by himself, and they need to start pushing him and maybe break him away from AJ and Dolph Ziggler so he can be his own man and stand on his own 2 feet. Because I really am impressed with Big E and what he could do, and I would really like to see what they could do with him, because he's impressing the hell out of me down on NXT, and I want to see stuff that out of him this year in 2013. They started doing something really great with him in the tag team with Ziggler at WrestleMania, but he needs to be more of a solo competitor. I could see him maybe doing things with Mark Henry, Ryback, Sheamus maybe, Big Show. Put him in there with some really big top contenders and see what he can really do. Don't put him in matches with guys like Kofi Kingston and Zack Ryder. Put him in there with guys that they could possibly see him do really good with. A couple of stars that I think that need to be de-pushed right now because they've been overly pushed over the last several months or years. Cena, Orton, Sheamus, Ryback, Show, Henry, Swagger. The reason why is because they've given these guys so much, and it's not paying off. They really need to do something quick, and I think as many fans out there that Cena is, I still think that they need to turn him heel. I know it's not going to happen. He even said it, turning his back on all his fans isn't worth a couple of months storyline. But if they know that wrestling is fake and it's all part of the show, then they should do it, because myself included, there are a lot of people that are looking to see John Cena turn heel. He doesn't have to go back to the rapping gimmick. There's a lot of people out there say, oh, if he turns heel, he's going to go back to the whole rapping thing. He doesn't have to. All he's got to do is just drop the whole never give up C-Nation thing. Maybe just come out with a chain. Maybe an all blacked out, C-Nation shirt. where it's like kind of like, scribbled out, or like a big, like, censored logo over it or something. Something different. And really see what he could do. I mean, I know that he didn't really have the best promos when he wasn't rapping, but or freestyling. But you know what? Give the guy a chance and see what he could do as a heel without the rapping gimmick. Orton is just getting really stale. So is Sheamus. Ryback, they really are trying hard with him. And I think the only way you can really add legitimacy to Ryback is if you have him go against Goldberg. And we know that Goldberg will never come back to the WWE because he doesn't like what Vince is doing. And he has a highly despised taste for Vince. And he said that in the past. Henry, they honestly don't know what to deal with him. First, he's feuding with the World Heavyweight Title. Now then he was feuding with Ryback. Now he's feuding with Sheamus, and it just doesn't make sense. Swagger, the whole "We the People" gimmick was pretty cool when Del Rio was the World Heavyweight Champion. Now he's not, and they need to do something with him quick. As far as the tag team divisions, they need to start pushing guys like the Usos. I really think that the Usos can be top contenders in the tag team division. Gabriel and Kidd, like I stated earlier in this video. There's been rumors that Shad Gaspard had commented saying that he is open to a WWE return. So it'd be pretty cool to maybe see him come back and maybe see him form up with JTG as Crime Time again, because I really like Crime Time. Not to say anything about the gimmick. I think the gimmick was stupid. And WWE has always had that thing where they stereotypes, and but the gimmick was pretty good, and the tag team was really good. It had me interested. We hadn't really had a tag team, homegrown tag team from New York in a while. And when I would watch Crime Time, it almost felt like a Harlem Heat kind of feel to it. You had Shad, which was their muscle, like Stevie Ray was, and then you had JTG, who was kind of this quick speed and quickness and a little bit of a high flyer when he wanted to be, and that's was something similar to what Booker T was with Harlem Heat. Like I said in the early video, they need to really get rid of 3MB. And the Divas division needs to be spruced up big time. They definitely need to start bringing up some divas from the NXT. You got women down there like Paige and Summer Rae, Audrey Marie, and some other ones down there that are really good, that can really showcase some of their talents on Raw and or SmackDown. Be really cool if they do decide to go that route with the NXT and have them have maybe 1 or 2 matches on Raw to get the fans familiar with the gimmicks, so that way when NXT hits the TV, they're polished, they know who they are and stuff like that. Be really cool. Guys, this video has been going for 22 minutes and my throat's starting to get dry. Hopefully you understand where I'm coming from. I'm not saying that don't want to say I'm bashing the WWE. I just dislike in the current direction that they're going, and I really want to see some change, something different, something. I'm not saying they have to go out and change their whole entire format and throw out their old format. Some of the current format is working, but they need to start pushing some of the right talent and started de-pushing some of the right talent as well. Push the right, de-push the right. Change it up. I'm really disappointed that they're really dropping the ball on Cesaro. I mean, he's probably one of the top wrestlers that WWE has right now. And then when CM Punk comes back, he'll be up there again. And, you got Chris Jericho as well. So, they really need to start pushing some of these younger talent, because when guys like Punk and Cena and Show and Henry and The Undertaker and Triple H, all these top guys are gone, you're going to have nothing but a roster full of, guys who aren't going to put asses in the seats. So you got to start building some new talent before you have none. And that's what the biggest thing that they failed to do earlier in the 2000s was when they had guys like Triple H and The Rock and Austin all wrestling still constantly week in and week out. They failed to start building new talent. And then you had it where 2004, 2002, 2003 came along. They had to quickly start building guys like Cena and Batista and Orton, and they had to be forced, they had to force themselves new talent. And I really hope that we can see, something different this time around and really see them build some new talent. So when all the, the old horses ride off into the sunset, you have talent that can hold the company up and make the company some money. So guys, love to hear your input. I'm sorry this video went 24 minutes too long. I wanted to do this in 15, but there was a lot of stuff I wanted to get out in the open. So leave your comments in the comment box below and let me know your thoughts and opinions on this current video. And what do you like to see different? What would you like to see WWE change? What do you want to see in the future of the WWE? Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and comment. I'm JC Styles, and I will catch you later.